Okay. Time now for this week's auto history, Mr. Mars.
Yes, sir. We'll go through this pretty quick. In 1898, Rudolf Diesel, there's actually a guy named Diesel, received a U.S. patent for his compression-ignition engine. So unlike gasoline engines, the diesel engine ignited fuel through the high compression, created more efficiency, more torque. It was basically used industry and marine purposes originally, but it found its way into trucks and buses and passenger cars. Of course, it's been changed. The diesel technology's changed a lot. It used to be considered very bad for emissions, but they've cleaned all that stuff up, and it's become pretty much mainstream. Then in 1897, the London taxicabs go electric. Now, they introduced the first fleet of electric taxicabs nicknamed Hummingbirds for their quiet operation.
God, is that ugly?
Yeah. Now, these early EVs, they offered this created the EV, urban transportation, more than a century before modern electric cars. They were pretty limited by range and battery technology, but they worked, and it kind of started things off. Then in 1913, the first U.S. license plate was issued. Now, this was up in the state of New York and formalized the registration process. Before that, many people just crafted homemade plates or relied on local identifiers so that you could tell who was coming down the road. This provided the uniformity in aiding law enforcement and safety regulations, and it quickly became nationwide, and it's now what we all have to deal with once a year. 1938, Volkswagen Type 1 prototype was actually first shown. Now, this is the KDF wagon prototype, and it later became the Beetle. Now, this was famous because it was designed by Ferdinand Porsche, and it was promised to be affordable, efficient transportation for the masses, had a distinctive rounded body and rear-mounted engine, and it became eventually the world's best-selling car design. And then after World War II, it became to symbolize Germany's automotive revival. Speaking of Porsche, 1963, Porsche unveiled its legendary 1911 sports car to the public at the Frankfurt Motor Show. Rear engine
911?
911.
Yeah, 911.
Okay.
Yeah, the rear engine coupe replaced the 356 model and instantly promised enthusiasts an aerodynamic styling, flat six engine, and balanced handling. It actually became Porsche's flagship model in their motorsports competition. Then, not to be outdone, Ford in 1974 introduced the Mustang II. Now, this is a second-generation Mustang and became the Mustang II, downsized to respond to the fuel crisis and changing consumer designs. It shared a platform with the Ford Pinto, of all things. I did not know that. And it was criticized for reduced power. It appealed to buyers because it was sleeker and more efficient car, and it actually became a commercial success for Ford. And that was some of the things this week in automotive history.
Perfect.
That hasn't been recalled yet.
It was with the Pinto, though.
It was, in the Pinto recall, where they quit making it. It was so bad.
Fire sale.
So, some of the